Our spirit and soul are basically connected to our body. Okay? The spirit basically helps the soul be connected and stay within the body. It's believed that when we go to sleep, the soul can't always be in the body. It hates it, it gets sick of it, because the soul comes from another place. It has a higher self. So what happens is, sometimes when we go to sleep, the spirit allows the soul to separate from the body, and the soul travels. The soul can astral project somewhere else. It can go on to the other side, rejuvenate itself, download whatever its destiny is supposed to be. And sometimes, when the soul goes to one of these places, it begins to remember things. Now, past, present, and future all happen simultaneously on the other side. It's all recorded in a book. All of us, our past, present, futures, recorded in books. Now, don't you think our soul can sometimes access that? Our soul can sometimes remember that when it goes home? Don't you think that sometimes you forget stuff when you leave home and you come back, you remember where it is? Or you remember you forgot something and it's at home? What I'm trying to tell you is that many people have dreams that come true. Dreams of future events. And these future events have been recorded on the other side to occur at one point in our life. How do we know that we're having a dream that is about to come true? I think pretty much your intuition, when you wake up and go, wow, that's an amazing dream. It's something that's going to happen. You need to jot it down in a journal or write it down. I remember when I was in high school, I had all these dreams that were coming true, one after the other. So I started writing them down, and I was amazed at writing them down, how they were happening. I remember just about a year, 2 years ago, at work, I started daydreaming. And I just got off the phone with my sister, started thinking about her, and instantaneously, I started getting all these dreams, or not dreams, but images and thoughts in my head, and I said, ooh, I know that feeling, That feeling of intuition of something's going to happen. So I jotted them all down. All 7 things that I wrote down. And I even put a time frame. For some reason, I knew July, August, in the fall, in the winter. Every one of those items came true. From my sister warning her not to get in a certain argument at work. That's going to be a huge argument at work. And if she really, went off the hook, she was going to lose her job. The other thing was that she had a couple horses, and one of them was white. And I said the white horse was going to get sick. I didn't tell her that it was going to die because I didn't want her to know that. But I did know, and I told my mom it was going to, and it did. I also told her that she was going to meet somebody because of her horse that she would start dating, and the relationship she was in was going to fizzle down. And it happened. I also told her about a few other personal things that, in respect to my sister, I won't relay here on air, but they were very personal. When I told my mom says, oh, no way, that's not going to happen, this and that, da-da-da. And sure enough, when I told her July, August would come around, it did. What is this that allows us to see the future? What is this that we get these images, these thoughts, these dreams that tell us something's going to happen? Well, like I said, there's a part of us, inside of us, the soul, that comes from a place that knows everything, the past, present, and future. The military believes, and this is true, the military, a faction of the military that has studied this, maybe you want to say the secret part of the military, whatever you want to call it, knows that there is a matrix out there that exists, kind of like the internet that we have, but a matrix of knowledge, of information that crisscrosses of every person, past, present, and future, their entire history, their entire path. And they're figuring out ways to access that, whether it's with remote viewing or other forms of thought process or meditation. Many psychics, mediums, channelers will tell you that they can access this information of the past, present, and future. Not everybody's always accurate, but a lot of people out there, when you have a premonition, an intuition, a dream, a precognition, of something happening. Isn't it amazing when it does happen? So what do? First off, you need to write it down. Write it down. Whether it's a dream, you wake up and it bothers you and you're like, oh my God, write it down. Why? Because when it happens, you can look back and you said, I knew that was going to happen. I even wrote it down. And by doing that, you're telling the universe that, okay, I accept this gift, this thing that I have. And when you start to do that, guess what? It happens more frequently. Now, I know there's a lot of you, and I've talked to people in the past, I don't want to know my future. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know that. You know, fine, don't. But when you have an ability, use it. Whether it's good or bad, you can prepare yourself, but listen to it. I'm going to share with you a dream that I had. And this can be confirmed by my mom, my family, my sister. When I was about 5 years old, okay, I know I was 5 because she was only about 2 or 3. She just started walking, so she's probably around 2 years old. I had this nightmare. And I think anybody that has a brother or sister or even parents that have children can relate to this. So I'm going to tell you, listen to what I have to say, and then in the future, if you ever have something like that, at least listen to it. It doesn't hurt. I'll tell you why. I had this nightmare. I woke up screaming, crying, uncontrollably. My mom comes running in the room. She's like, what's wrong, Christopher? What's wrong? I said, Mom, I had this dream. It was horrible. Kelly, Kelly's dead. Kelly's dead. My sister's dead. My mom's like, no, she's okay. What happened? She grabbed my hand, brought me to the room, saw that Kelly was okay. She was sleeping. And I said, well, my mom's like, it's just a dream. Tell me what happened. I said, well, Mom, all of a sudden we go to this one, it's all dark, and I see this like water, and there's this edge, and I put my foot in there, and then Kelly goes over there, and the girl tells her to put her foot in there, and there's these other kids standing around, and I don't recognize any of them, and Kelly falls in. And as she falls in, it gets darker and darker, and she's starting to drown. And all of a sudden, I see this white tube just be thrown in the air, and it lands right by her, but it misses her. And then she goes under. So I go to jump in to save her, and it goes dark too, and she dies. And at this point, I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried about my sister. It's my little sister, I started crying. My mom's like, settle down. And Mom says, Christopher, it was only a dream. Your sister's fine. But Mom, it seems so real. Chris, listen to me. This is very important. If this ever happens, don't jump in. Don't stand there. Run as fast as you can to get help. The instant you see something like this happen, you run and get help. I know, Mom, but Kelly died. Christopher, just run and get help. I said, okay. My mom didn't tell me, but about a night or 2 nights later, my mom had the same dream. She had the same dream. So she told my father's playing professional hockey, Reggie, whatever you do, don't get a place that we're going to stay at for 6-7 months when my dad's playing hockey that has a pool or is near water. Sure enough, about 6 months later, we get a apartment in Salt Lake City. And time goes by, we move in, my dad's working. We had some people over. It was during the afternoon, it was in the fall. And a whole bunch of kids were there, and they were a lot older than me. I was only about 5 years old. My sister was like 2 or 3, like I said. And this one girl was about 11, 12 years old, and there was a bunch of other kids, and said, okay, just watch Christopher and Kelly and the other kids. You guys just go walk around the complex. So we decided to go walk around the complex, and the one girl says, is there a pool? And I said, yeah, there's a pool over there. So we go over by the pool. All the kids are just looking at the pool, and there's this tarp, this dark blue tarp that's in the pool. It's covered up because, it's going to be getting cold, but it had rained, and all this water accumulated in the middle of the tarp. There's this big bog of water that was in the middle of it. Well, the oldest girl decided, let's play a game. So she tells all the little kids, tap your foot by the edge of the pool, right on the edge. So everybody starts doing it. She tells me to do it, and I said, no. Just something didn't feel right. I said, no. So she started teasing me, and all the other kids teased me. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. So she really started teasing me, and I got mad. So I said, all right, I'll do it. So I went and I tapped my foot. And then she goes, okay, Kelly's got to do it too. And then I just sat there and I kind of froze. And things started to play out. She grabbed my sister's hand, and they walked a couple steps over to the edge. And my sister went to put her foot, and she said she didn't do it all the way. She went to do it again. And guess what happened? She slipped off the edge, the girl let go, and my sister slid down to the middle of the tarp. The tarp was completely filled with water. My sister was only 2 years old, and she had a little snowsuit on. At this point, I freaked. I still didn't hit me yet. All of a sudden, the girl goes and grabs the white little life preserver, the tube. As soon as I see that white tube fly over my head and land over my sister and miss my sister, there was a trigger. Instantly, I remembered what my mom told me. You bet I ran as fast as I could, screaming. Unbeknownst to me at the time, as I ran across the parking lot, I was about 2 to 3 inches away from being hit by a car. I didn't look left or right. The neighbor, luckily it was a neighbor, slammed on the brakes. I didn't even hear it. Mom did tell me to look both ways. She just told me, you run and get help. I ran to the front door, and there was a maintenance guy that was working on the buzzers there in the door, and I screamed to him. So he's like, where? And I said, by the pool. He dropped everything, and he sprinted over there. I went around the side of the building. I'm yelling down towards the window, Mom. My mom comes out with everybody else. She goes, Chris, don't kid around. I said, Kelly's drowning. He's like, Chris, quit kidding around. I said, no, Mom, why wouldn't you listen to me? Listen to me. As soon as my mom saw my eyes, she realized it was happening. So all the parents ran over there as fast as they could. And the maintenance guy was using whatever he could to try to reach my sister, and it just wouldn't reach. They all decided quickly, we don't have much time, we got to create a human chain. As they were creating a human chain, and they slid my mom down the tarp, my sister went under. She was under for about maybe 3 seconds. And as she was going under, my mom pulled her out, and they made sure she was okay. She was coughing, but my sister was fine. Like, she just didn't know what was happening. No emotions, nothing. I sat there and just realized I changed the destiny of that dream. By taking a moment to recognize a possible event, by telling somebody what I had saw, the fear I had, instead of keeping it to myself, I was able to change the future. It's a remarkable thing. Now, of course, right after that, my mom scolded me, yelled at me, and thought it was my fault that I brought the kid there and I was grounded. And I felt horrible, and then the whole time I'm realizing, oh my God, I just saved my sister's life. The rest of the kids, were to blame pretty much, but nobody said another word because we realized at that particular point, my sister very well could have been dead. And that's something I'll never forget. And neither will my sister. Neither will my mom. And I tell you what, all the time when I tell my sister, you owe me. But I'm grateful for that precognitive dream. Because if it wasn't, my sister, who's very dear to me, would not be here today. So I tell you this very special, very personal thing that happened to me, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can relate. And for those that can't relate, that don't understand, listen to your dreams. Listen to your intuition. When you pay attention to it, you'd be surprised how things do occur. And it's not because you've created it. It's the future telling you that it's going to happen. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for allowing me to